I need another villain from Star Wars for this poll. I guess I could do General Grievous? I'm just not sure how I'd do it.
Do it.
It's not like anyone will vote for him anyway. Let's get started by figuring out our goals for this build. First, we need 4 arms, which I'm going to cop out and call 4 attacks per round. Next, we need the weapons of our fallen enemies, which means radiant damage on our melee attacks. Finally, we'll make sure that we can command other people to fight for us so that we can run away. For stats, we're using the standard point array from the player's handbook. Roll for stats if you want, just make sure your dexterity, strength, and charisma are all up to snuff. Speaking of, dexterity should be number 1. Lightsabers are light weapons, who'd have thought. Charisma after that, he's the commander of the largest droid army in the universe. Strength next, we won't really use it that much, but we need it for the multiclassing. Intelligence will follow. Grievous is a strategic genius. Wisdom is a little low. Grievous uses lightsabers, but he's no Jedi. And we'll dump Constitution. He's got a perpetual case of whooping cough. For race, we need to travel to Eberron for the Warforged. The general is more machine than man now. You can find the Warforged in the races of Eberron, unearthed Arcana, specifically a Skirmisher Warforged. This will give us +2 dexterity and +1 Constitution. You have Warforged Resilience, which gives you advantage on saving throws against being poisoned. You resist poison damage, and you don't need to sleep or eat or drink, and you're immune to disease. You also have Integrated Protection. That means that you get to pick a type of armor you have proficiency with and have a standard set of armor on. Composite plating requires medium armor proficiency. Don't worry, you'll have it. It makes your AC 13 plus your dexterity modifier and your proficiency bonus. Now that dexterity modifier can only bring it up by +2, but it's still really good, trust me. You're also swift. This increases your movement speed by 5 feet, and you have a light step, letting you move stealthily at a normal pace while you're alone. We use the soldier background a lot here, but it gives you athletics and intimidation proficiencies, and the military rank makes sure everyone will address you by your proper title. We'll kick things off as a fighter. First level fighters can grab 2 skills from their list. I'd go for acrobatics and history. The best strategists always learn from history. For your fighting style, grab 2 weapon fighting, letting you add your ability modifier to your offhand attack. Remember, this uses your bonus action. If things are looking rough, you can always use your second wind, healing you 1d10 plus your fighter level as a bonus action. Second level fighters get action surge, letting you make an extra action once per long rest. Keep in mind this is just 1 action, not a bonus action, so that's 3 attacks per round, once per day. Once again, we're going to get there, it just takes a little bit of patience. Third level fighters can choose a martial archetype. The Battle Master makes you a student of war, giving you proficiency with artisan's tools. I'd go for painter's supplies, just because I want to picture a 4-armed robot doing his best Bob Ross impression. Address your fan art to tulockthebarbarian@gmail.com. Most importantly, you get maneuvers and superiority die. Those die are d8s for now. You can add them to special attacks like Commander Strike. This lets you instruct someone to make an attack with your action and their reaction, adding your superiority die to the damage of their attack. Parry lets you reduce damage from an attack by your dexterity modifier and 1 of the superiority die. Finally, sweeping attack lets you use your superiority die to try and hit another target within 5 feet of your original target. If the attack would land on that creature as well, you can deal damage equal to the roll on the superiority die. Switching over to Rogue now, the giant laser sword robot might not seem super sneaky, but it'll make sense soon, I promise. Multiclassing into Rogue lets you grab a skill from their list, take Investigation. You can also get expertise in 2 skills of your choice, so I'd go for Intimidation and Acrobatics, doubling your proficiency bonuses for these skills. You also get Sneak Attack, letting you add 1d6 damage when you have advantage on an attack or an ally within 5 feet of the target. Keep in mind you have to use a finesse weapon or a ranged weapon for this, so keep your swords short, it works better anyway. Grievous isn't one to miss a cheap shot. Second level rogues get Cunning Action, letting you dash, disengage, or hide as a bonus action. Some might call it cowardly, but survival is strategic. Third level rogues can choose a martial archetype. Masterminds become a master of tactics, letting you help as a bonus action and increasing the range from 5 feet to 30, so you can call out orders and make sure your troops are working effectively. Your sneak attack also increases to 2d6. Fourth level fighters can grab an ability score improvement, raise your dexterity and constitution by 1. Odd numbers are bad, and so is a negative constitution modifier. Fifth level fighters get an extra attack, letting you make 2 attacks instead of 1 on your attack action, meaning that when you action surge, you have a total of 5 attacks per round. Mission accomplished. Like, subscribe, share with your friends so they know how to make a 5th level fighter. We're going to hop over to the Paladin now. First level Paladins get Divine Sense, letting you detect fiends, fae, and celestials in your area an amount of times equal to your charisma modifier per long rest. Healing Hands gives you a pool of healing equal to 5 times your Paladin level that you can distribute as an action on your turn. Honestly, neither of these abilities are very in character, but remember, hit points aren't meat points. Healing someone could be a pat on the back or a shove back into the fray with some "I'll dismantle you if you let me down" peppered in for some encouragement. we're really here for the second level of Paladin. This gives you a fighting style. Defense lets you add 1 to your AC while you're wearing armor. Technically, the armor is a part of you at this point. You also get some spells. Divine Favor adds 1d4 radiant damage to all of your weapon attacks for a minute, depending on your concentration, adding the light to your lightsabers. This is really good with the flurry of attacks you're going to be flinging. For another spell, Command lets you issue a simple one-word order to a creature that fails a Wisdom save of 8, plus your proficiency in your Charisma modifier. It lasts for 1 round, basically turning your enemies into well-trained dogs. Finally, Divine Smite lets you spend your spell slots to add an extra 2d8 radiant damage to 1 attack. Mathematically, Divine Favor is probably more worth it, with 3 attacks per round and up to 10 rounds of use, giving you a potential for 30d4 by the time you're done, but concentration isn't great for you because of your low con modifier, so that could drop. You're a military genius, you figure out which you'd rather use. Now, we're not going to go to 3rd level Paladin, because then you have to take an oath, and you're basically like sworn to be a Jedi, so we're going back to Fighter. 6th level fighters can grab a feat. The Warcaster feat lets you use somatic components of spells while both of your hands are holding something, so you can use Divine Favor with all your sabers ready to be lighted. You also get advantage on concentration checks, which is good, because you only have 2 spell slots. 7th level Battle Masters get to know their enemy, letting you study an enemy for a minute to determine if their strength score, dexterity score, constitution score, HP, AC, total level, or fighter level is better, worse, or equal to yours. You can pick 2 of these per minute of study, so you're not monologuing, you're studying. You can also grab 2 more maneuvers. Fainting Attack lets you spend a bonus action to get advantage on your attack, adding your superiority die to the damage and your sneak attack once per round, considering you've got those rogue levels. Tripping Attack is probably a little bit better, and lets you force a strength save of 8 plus your proficiency and your dex modifier on a large or smaller creature you hit with an attack, and your superiority die to the damage. If they fail, they're knocked prone, giving you advantage on all melee attacks until they stand up. Keep in mind, Sneak Attack is a once per turn thing, but that extra advantage could lead to a crit. This level also gives you another superiority die, so don't be shy about using these. 8th level fighters get another ability score improvement. Cap your dexterity for maximum damage. 9th level fighters get Indomitable, letting you re-roll a failed saving throw once per long rest. I'd recommend maximizing efficiency with this and using it for concentration saves, as you have advantage. And Divine Favor really buffs your damage. 10th level Battle Masters get improved combat superiority, bumping your D8 superiority die to D10s. You can grab 2 more maneuvers as well. Riposte lets you attack with a reaction when someone misses you with a melee attack, and you get to add your superiority die to the damage. Rally lets you heal a member of your team with a superiority die and your charisma modifier. It's basically a healing word with a D10 instead of a D4, which is very good. 11th level fighters get another extra attack, meaning 3 attacks per round and another as a bonus action, so we can consistently make 4 attacks per round. 4 lightsabers, folks. We did it. 12th level fighters get another ability score improvement, but I'm actually going to grab the dual wielder feat for +1 AC while dual wielding. You can also dual wield any weapon that isn't specifically two-handed, but short swords use your dex, so just keep those for more consistent damage. 13th level fighters get another use of Indomitable, making sure all of them lightsabers stay lit. You can use them for other saves, but you're a melee fighter with low con. You'll have plenty of opportunity to reroll concentration checks. 14th level fighters get another ability score improvement. Give some love to your charisma for better intimidation checks and stronger rallying. Remember, it doesn't have to be nice. Just remind your droids that you brought them into this war and you can take them out of it. Our capstone will be the 15th level of Battle Master, making you relentless. This means that if you roll initiative without any superiority die, you get 1 to use. You also get 1 more superiority die for a total of 6 and can learn 2 more maneuvers. Evasive Footwork lets you add your superiority die to your AC while you take the move action, making sure nobody gets an attack of opportunity. Pair this with a cunning action to effectively dash and disengage at the same time. Lunging attack adds 5 feet to the range of your attack, and you get to add your superiority die to that damage. Now that we've hit level 20, let's figure out how good of a build this is. First, you're dealing crazy amounts of damage with 4 attacks per round, superiority die, divine favor, and possibly sneak attack. Who would have guessed that attacking with 4 swords would deal so much damage? You're also really great at moving around. Cunning action and evasive footwork go together really well, letting you run away when you need to. Finally, your military mind will help you help every other soldier on your side. Knowing your enemy, rallying, and commander strike all come together to make sure that you got the most feared army in the galaxy. As for weaknesses, a low constitution might be in character, but it's pretty bad for a fighter build. Obviously, you're allowed to tweak these builds, and I'd say the obvious fix is to swap one of your soft skills with constitution. You're also dealing slashing and radiant damage, which is better than some fighters, but will be resisted by a large group of enemies. Finally, your only social skill is intimidation, which usually works well for one meeting, but leaves you locked out of future meetings. Thankfully, you can melt down doors, charge into the meeting, and tell everyone that they're terrible generals. You're the best general in the galaxy, you don't have to be nice. Just remember, it might be better for you to stay in the war room. You're not exactly in good health. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, subscribe for more. We make 2 builds every week. We've done heroes, we've done villains, now I want to cover the grayer side of the galaxy. Vote in the poll for Han Solo, Ahsoka Tano, or Boba Fett. Come back for Thursday for a friend like you've never had before.